Okay, good evening, everyone. Dr. Freedom here with you. Time for some Doctor Who news. News from in and around the universe that could affect you as a Whovian in some magical way that we will not discuss in this particular broadcast. Oh, that is between you and the Tardis. And frankly, we don't want to know what happened. But, okay, some weird things going on. And of course, we had Under the Lake. We talked about it on the Omega Files this week, and I hope you all go take a look at that. We had a lot of fun bringing that to you. It's definitely a weird episode, and like I said, we go into it in detail in that particular video, so I'm going to leave a little thing up for it if you want to go take a look at it. Well, let's get into what's going on right now. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at it. Okay, first up on the docket, we have, sorry about it, oops, Doctor Who Extra Under the Lake. Now, here's a whole bunch of these all linked together on one page, and they're all pretty interesting stuff. Be sure to go check these out, okay? Nice little clips for Doctor Who Extra, a lot of little nifty things that were going on in the background. Also over here on the BBC page, the making of Under the Lake, and this is about 7 minutes long. Be sure to go watch this. It's very informative. I really enjoyed taking a gander at this. It was a pretty, interesting video, to say the least. You got to give it a watch. Okay, Doctor Who fans have launched an online campaign to bring back the sonic screwdriver. Yeah, some are apparently so unimpressed with the Doctor's new shades, they've taken to Twitter to demand that the tool be returned to the Time Lord. Where were you all back in 80-something when the pterodactyl zapped the first one? Okay. Okay, Peter Capaldi's Doctor might be over screwdrivers, but there's one thing we've learned online is during Under the Lake is that some Doctor Who fans are not at all. And there's a whole series of these tweets. Please go check this out. Also sometimes fans get a little overzealous. Look, we can be sentimental. I wasn't sure I could get used to the whole sonic sunglasses thing myself, but you know what? Chances are sooner or later the sonic screwdriver is going to make a reappearance. I don't think it's going to stay gone forever. Okay. And I think that's what Stephen Moffat was alluding to a little while back in another article where I hear him meet the cast of Doctor Who Under the Lake. This is a nice little thing over on Radio Times. It takes you a little, gives you a little summary of each actor, actress, and whatnot. And each person involved. It's fun to take a look at this. Paul K. You've seen him in multiple things. If you want to go take a look at that. Now, like I said, nice, interesting article. I'm sorry if I'm a little dumbstruck today. It's been a weird day today. Lots going on. Okay, Lego Tardis touches down on the first set of the official Doctor Who set. That's right. You may remember a few months ago when the official Doctor Who Lego set was announced, complete with a range of monsters, doctors, and companions. Well, now you're getting your first look at what the blocky adventures will look like. Do a sneak peek at the Doctor's ride, and there it is. Okay, so if this is in your thing, Lego, when I was a kid, I played with Legos, and there's some folks who are into these adventure games, Lego movies, and all that. Just not my bag, but I figured I'd share it for those who, are interested in it. Okay, Series 9, Dr. Peter Capaldi says that Maisie Williams is frightening. Now, this is something we've heard before, but also there's a little video if you want to watch it. He was interviewed for the U.S. show Larry King Now, and you can watch the actual clip. He chats about being a young fan, receiving autographs and scripts from the Doctor Who production team, his time in a punk band, the Dream Boys, and with fellow Who fan Craig Ferguson. And then, of course, he talks about this year's San Diego Comic-Con, the threat of the current government on the BBC, his opinion on David Cameron, and Game of Thrones' Maisie Williams, and he describes as frightening. Now, unfortunately, that whole character thing got blown wide open, and don't worry, I won't give it away here, by an Australian book site named Booktopia. And I won't give any specifics, you folks know what video to go to if you want, if you are genuinely that curious and you do want to be spoiled. But okay, moving on. Doctor Who books that are out now, the Time Lord Fairy Tales and the Dangerous Book of Monsters. Okay, this involves 15 captivating brand new stories based on within Doctor Who itself, which draw on mysterious myths and legends about heroes and monsters of all kinds from every corner of the universe. From Frozen Beauty to Snow White in the Seven Keys of Doomsday, there are tales that might have been told to young Time Lords at bedtime and are filled with nightmarish terrors and heroic triumphs that will be sure to capture the imagination. Featuring an original specially commissioned illustrated cover and 15 illustrations, one for each tale, This is in a beautiful paper cutout style. These twisted tales are an enhancing gift for Doctor Who fans of all ages. And these are read by, if I remember correctly, a bunch of different people. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but okay, the Dangerous Book of Monsters. All right, do you know how to disarm a Dalek, dispose of a dream crab? Foretell a visit from the foretold. If the answer is no, this is the guide for you. The Time-worn Monster Handbook is where the Doctor keeps his most valuable and dangerous information, his essential notes on every fearsome enemy, with original sketches of each creature and cunning foe. The Doctor has written down all you need to know to defeat every monster in the cosmos, or, in some cases, to make a very speedy escape instead. And if you want, you can buy that here. And if you go up here, this is for Time Lord Fairy Tales. Okay, this is the one we were talking about on the Omega Files yesterday. And of course, this has driven a lot of people into a frenzy because, scary enough, the mirror has been hitting so few things right. In my opinion, I think this is part of the, maybe it's part of it. Like I said, don't get me to conspiracy theory nonsense here, but it's beginning to sound like they're trying to give you a reason for the truncated season that's coming up. Now, we're going to talk about the ratings numbers in a minute. But the thing is, you got to remember, they put Doctor Who this year, and if I remember right, they do mention it in here. All right. The show is at a crisis period. Viewing figures have plunged below 4 million. Yeah, because you morons put it up against the Rugby World Cup tournament. I like that Capaldi is leaving. Coleman is leaving, and Capaldi may do the same to spend more time with his family. Where are they getting this nonsense? It's not like he has to fly to America like Hugh Laurie did to do House. Oy vey. All right, last week they announced a spin-off series Class aimed at teenagers to try to find a new army of Doctor Who fans. No, they launched a spin-off because the freaking main show is doing well on its own, you morons. Oh, I love how everybody the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, it's I'm not even going to describe. I was going to say this isn't really. I had a really bad analogy for that. And of course, sources are also saying they're weighing up to the drastic step of axing the 12 series run, and this is planned for 2016. And it said they would film a couple of Sherlock style feature-length episodes plus a Christmas episode. I'm hearing 6 episodes and a Christmas episode. That's what I'm still hearing, and I haven't heard anything different. There's no mention of this crap. There's been no mention of axing the show. All right, a BBC source admitted Doctor Who's decline is very worrying and needs to be addressed. At this stage, all options are being considered. They may have to do a live nude show. Oh, sheesh. Everyone accepts that drastic action may be needed. Another plan is under consideration is rebooting Doctor Who with a new cast in 2017. Now, Game of Thrones and Lady Chatterley star Richard Madden tops the wish list. And once again, let's stress that wish list. None of this has been confirmed. This is all, so far, hooey. Even though BBC One controller Charlotte Moore has not ruled out introducing a female doctor. That was not what she was talking about in the art. You see how things get twisted around? This is an old thing that I've talked about many times over the last few years. 2 magical words in the world we call spin control. And that's what this is beginning to sound like. I like that. A BBC spokesman said we are only 3 weeks into this year's run. It is far too early to discuss this year's commission. And of course, actually, no, they don't even discuss it. I'm sorry. I must have mistook this for another article. But the thing is, they put Doctor Who up against the Rugby World Cup tournament. You're talking like, I think last year was last week was what? I think England versus Australia. Or was that this week? I don't keep track of these things. I'm not a rugby fan. But still, Scotland versus England, I think was last week. And then this week was England versus Australia. I don't know. Oh, sheesh. Oh, man. But all I know is this. There have been no plans to scrap the show. There's no way in hell the numbers just magically drop before 4 million in one season, considering, like I said, last year was there, a Series 8 actually did better ratings-wise on average than Series 7. But the problem is they're not taking that into account is the fact that, we're going to put this up against a major sporting event that is a nationwide favorite. Plus, if you look at the first episode, hey, let's go into the show. Let's go ahead and pop over here. All right, the Series 9 ratings accumulator. Now, Magician's Apprentice, 4.58 million. That was the overnight, and everyone went nuts. The final came out at 6.54. That does not include iPlayer, That does not include BBC iPlayer. That does not mention the fact that maybe it will. I have to scroll back down. I picked this particular article up in a hurry because I just wanted to show the numbers. And so far, we've got a consistent 3.7 million between these two, and that could jump as high as 6 or 7 million right there. You see what I mean? It's like, yeah, we don't even have live plus sevens. I don't think we'll yet. And the audience appreciation index 84, 83, and we don't have one yet for Under the Lake. But the thing is, people are just going bananas over nothing. They're looking at this number and this number and this number and going, oh my God, the ratings have dropped below 4 million, and not taking into account you are going up against a major sporting event, which was, I still believe, I can't believe they did this. It was a moron move. But the problem is, I don't think they could have avoided it, because I think they've. If someone get me wrong, if someone knows when the tournament ends, please put it in the comment box. Someone put it up for me, and I can't remember where I put the notes for it. But it's going to be like halfway through the frickin' season before the Rugby World Cup tournament's done, and it's going to affect ratings every single week. My only hope is when we get to, I think about here, which is going to be like a Woman Who Lived. Or is it going to be Zygon Invasion version? You're going to see the normal numbers coming back, because that's when the tournament will be over, is by the time the season is over. Also, everybody's going to tune in like crazy mad so they can cry our eyeballs out when they try to find out how Claire is leaving the show, which I will not talk about because that is a major spoiler, and that's, and they're, Mirror possibly dropped it, but we won't go into that. Okay. All right, so forgive me for being, a bit crazy about this, but forgive me for just going on and on about it. But I am getting sick and tired of all the show is dying whining. I'm getting sick and tired of it. As I used to be one of those guys who jump up and down going, Moffat's ruining the show. He has to go. That's not the problem. So, and who knows? Maybe next year, with a little bit of a hiatus, with just a short season, things will start cycling back. Also, like I said, I don't know where the Capaldi's going away thing has started, but, all a load of bunk and nonsense so far. As I said, and we'll leave off with that note today, don't believe unless you hear from the bee. Okay, so take it easy, guys. Catch you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye for now.